We back in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, and let's get to talking about some boxing. Ross Floyd, BINXG. Let's talk about some boxing, man. We got some good news. We got some news this week. Don't forget tomorrow, my Chicago boy Joshua Greer is bringing his pillow to ESPN. He kind of regressed a little bit, but hopefully, he get it back right. I remember he brought that pillow to Detroit, and we didn't Leonardo snatched that bitch. But I respect anybody that go inside that ring. And Joshua Greer, I fuck with him, man. So I went best of luck to Joshua Greer tomorrow. Antonio DeMarco fighting. So the card stepping up a little bit tomorrow, man. I think we got some good fights on tomorrow, some solid fights. I will say. I don't know about good, but Antonio DeMarco is solid. And then you did have that Thomas Delorme and Jamal James is going to fight. Was it July 25th or some shit like that? So PBC May Day mark. But today we're gonna talk about. Make sure I hit the thumbs up button and share the video. We're gonna talk about Bud and his interview with Brian Custer. Which Custer, I'm gonna speak on that whole little situation, man. Dillian Whyte should blame Eddie Hearn for not getting him the fights. He's suing the WBC. We talk about that. Oscar De La Hoya back at it with Ryan Garcia. He took Ryan Garcia up to the July 4th date. They won't do a fight. Then, on July 4th, they're going to wait till later in July with Virgil Ortiz. And then I'm just going to talk about the Ducks, the mother Ducks, David Benavidez and Regis Prograis in their situation. Shout out to Fax Tellerman. Shout out to Versatile ENT. So I do appreciate everybody that will listen on the replay and who will listen on a live feed. So share the videos. Don't forget to check out our sponsors. Well, I'll talk about them real quick. The Hellblaze, www.thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxing. Get 18% off the 100% organic products. Website promo code description. Check out cell phone buyers, recyclers. Their number right on the screen, 936-225-2198. You can follow them on Instagram, cell phone buyers, recyclers, one word. The links in their Facebook, in their social media is in the description and their website. So check all that out. They want to buy your phone, specifically iPhones, broke, half working, non-working, a little bit working. They want to buy them, so hit them up. So I'm going to shout them out in the middle of the stream again. So, Crawford talked to Brian Custer. And I'm going to talk about this, man. I talked about this a little bit earlier when I kind of talked about what Crawford said in his Last Man podcast. I was going to listen to it last night, and I just like, man, you know what, man? I did enough yesterday. I was moving all day yesterday. So I was going to talk about it this morning, but I listened to it this morning, and actually it was pretty good, man. I think it was better than the Earl Spence one. I just think Crawford kind of, not because he a better interviewer than Spence or gave a better interview. It just seemed that, we know about Earl Spence. He been consistent on what he been saying. But Crawford kind of been a little bit quiet. You know what I'm saying? And Brian Custer got him to open up a little bit. And it was kind of flabbergasted he doing an interview with Brian Custer because Custer was talking shit about him. But then again, he do interview with other, big names that do talk shit. But what you got to understand, the reason why Town Business can't get an interview and a Radio Raheem get an interview is because they plugged in, Radio Raheem behind the gloves. They plugged in with promoters and shit. So promoters make sure usually they get the interviews that they need to get. Niggas like me in Town and some of the smaller dudes, we got to hustle to get those interviews. And quite frankly, them days is over with for me. I'm done hustling. I'm done busting my ass and waiting on motherfuckers to call. And, I'm done on that shit, chasing Devin Alexander and Amir Mine with his stuffy ass. Like I said, I may interview some people in the near future, but it's probably going to be on my podcast. So I'm going to unveil that information and stuff when I started. So it started, but I ain't recorded shit yet on it. So, but it was an interesting interview. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that stuck out to everybody was he gave a reason why he signed with Top Rank and then go with Premier Boxing Champions, and his reason was thought he was going to get the Manny Pacquiao fight. But originally he didn't have a choice. It was Top Rank and nobody else. Top Rank did for him what Eddie Hearn did for Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade still owed him Italians. Terence Crawford still had owed Matador Sports. He still owed them. So Top Rank was paying the percentage that they was getting out of his cut directly from them. So it wasn't coming out of Crawford cut. It was just them playing the exact same percentage out his cut. And eventually, I think their contract ran out. They had some discrepancies in court because they was only giving them a cut out of Crawford base salary, and they wanted to cut after his back end salary as well too. Or they wanted the equivalent of the cut. So he said he wanted the Pacquiao fight. He thought he gonna get it, but he does see the inconsistencies. And like I said on my earlier video, he just the person that's on the Larry Holmes list. And the Larry Holmes list is just people just don't like you, no matter what you do, no matter how much you can do it for him. He just a fighter that's just not liked. Him, Deontay Wilder, Clarissa Shields, Floyd Mayweather was on that list. Floyd was in the beginning. Floyd was a nice guy, spoke correctly, did everything that Andre Ward said he wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And they still called Floyd a nigga. They still didn't think he was exciting. They still didn't give him his just due. Same thing for Roy Jones. They never appreciated Roy Jones until he was gone. Everything Roy did, Roy knocked the nigga out. He wasn't nobody. Roy boxed to a decision, looked good. He was born. You know what I'm saying? Same thing is gonna happen to Shakur Stevenson. Same thing happened for Terence Crawford. You gotta understand when they put the black hat on you, Corey Lee salute. Y'all gotta subscribe to Corey Lee channel. When they put the black hat on you, it ain't nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you chose to wear the black hat. Mayweather had the black hat on him. People say, well, he chose to wear it. No, he just turned that bitch around and wore it backwards, and he styled and profiled with that black hat. There's nothing you can really do. You know what I'm saying? And people, and I heard Errol Spence say before I keep going on, he said this on the Custer podcast that now they trying to make it news because they ain't got shit to talk about. They be pulling interviews from 5 weeks ago because they ain't got shit to talk about. But he said he didn't like the way the Americans would against the grain and will with Tyson Fury. And what he said now is a direct correlation to what's going on. Do so now and salute. Make sure I thumbs up the video and share it. What he said now is a direct correlation to what's going on outside. You know what I'm saying? Against the minorities and basically against the blacks. Because really we have no allies. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on is you seeing that America never loved us. No matter how comfortable you feel at your job, how comfortable you feel in church, how comfortable you feel at the Bank of America or at the bank in general, America never loved us. You know what I'm saying? You see that in a direct correlation in boxing. They don't they don't get behind their fighters. You can bring 10 gold medals home and they still gonna get behind the Golovkin. They still gonna get behind the Fury. They still gonna get behind the Lomachenko. It ain't got nothing to do with ethnic pride. It just got to do with America don't like niggas. You know what I'm saying? They might can tolerate, they might can tolerate you if you bring a championship to Cleveland or you bring a Super Bowl to Kansas City, they'll tolerate you. But as soon as you make a mistake, they're ready to fucking castrate you. You feel me? They're ready to burn your ass. They're ready to lynch your ass again. So it's no surprise. The darker you is, the more hate you're going to get. And that's the God honest truth, especially when you're talking about boxing. We talk about Venus and Serena. They went to Indian Wells, and they called them niggas and everything up under the sun, and they boycotted going back to Indian Wells. Very racist place. Don't forget, Omar Figueroa got a DUI in Indian Wells. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to understand is, as a fighter and as an athlete, you got no allies. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You don't. So this country ain't gonna never get behind you. Only when it's convenient for them. They'll get behind somebody from Europe because they got a more of a direct correlation. LA-12 was somebody from Europe. That's what, these white Americans come from. Their descendants is from Europe. You got to remember that. We helped fight them. We helped get their independence. We helped them colonize. And the Native Americans did too. So it's in their blood to root for their ancestors. It's in their blood to root for somebody that look like them. And that's just the God honest truth. So if you're looking for a built-in fan base from a black American fighter, you're not gonna get it. The last person to really truly do it was Sugar Ray Leonard, that I can remember. Roy Jones, they talk shit about him to the day he got knocked out. That's a fact. So if you're looking for love, you know what I'm saying? What Errol Spence got going on is a minority. I mean, it's an anomaly, excuse me. What Crawford going through, what Shields going through, what Wilder going through, it's a lot, and then it's up to us to promote these fighters too. It's a lot of niggas that sit here and talk shit about Clarissa and they cape for Cecilia Brockis, and I don't want to kind of make it about this, but hey, I went there. They talk about Cecilia Brockers. They talk about how they down for the cause. They talk about how they down for the sisters and how they down for the brothers. And they married to the other. And they sit here and they talk shit about Clarissa and talking about, well, Cecilia Brockers don't need to fight this, that, and the third. Okay, that's cool. So when AJ say I don't need Wilder, I don't want to hear shit different. You got to be consistent. You got to keep it 100. Either you want the best to fight the best or you don't. There's no in between. And that's the God honest truth. It's no gray area. You know, in boxing, I like boxing. I don't say, oh, this dude my favorite fighter because he white or he black. It's like fucking boxing. That's just my opinion on it. But I will talk about the issues that black fighters have to go through. When I'm looking at boxing, I'm just looking at it as a whole. I like Benavidez. I like, Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I like Javante when his head on straight. I like Gary Russell. Keep going on and on. I like a New York. That's what it should be about. It should be about boxing. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be ashamed to be able to say you support Deontay or you support Tyson or you support Joshua, you support Puev. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to feel ashamed to support your favorite fighter. Corey Lee said, Boosie said, you get more hate in your own city. That's why he moved big facts. Yeah, I mean, in the same country, America doesn't accept blacks. Even though we built it, even though we built this shit, we helped fight for their independence, they still look at us as the enemy. That's just the God honest truth. And if y'all don't like it, shit ain't shit I can tell you. It's just the truth. But Crawford just on that list. Andre Ward kind of tinkered on that. He was on that list. I ain't gonna say tinkered. He was just on the list where shit, and then I ain't just talking about white fans neither. It's more the black fans that go against the grain of the black fighters. You know? Brian Custer was just talking shit about Crawford, but then again, he got him on his podcast. But you gotta remember what company he worked for. Instead of having him come on before you talk shit and getting his point of view, and he schooled Brian Custer on his whole entire career. He said, ain't nobody taking them how they come. He ain't lying. I ain't never heard Crawford take a back step when a nigga said when he said their name. I ain't never heard about Terence Crawford ducking. No matter when he went from 100,000, 500,000, 10,000, you could just change. You could just tell how people's opinions changed. When he was with Matador Sports fighting on the undercard of the undercard of the undercard of the Undertaker, Nestor from the Boxing Voice was saying everything good about him. Soon as he wouldn't give him an interview, now you salty about it. Like, shit, man, I'm not mad. I'm not pressed to talk to no nigga, no bitch. And that's just 100. My opinion of Crawford not going to change. He tried to sue me, but you see me, taking my boxing opinion and mixing it in with personal. You got to be able to separate personal. You got to be able to separate business. It ain't shit. I can't do shit about it. We came to a resolution. Not knocking a nigga. Now, if he go upside a nigga head, then that's a whole totally different situation. Then I get it. But I ain't got nothing personal against him. But they conveniently say they saying truth, they saying facts, but they leaving out facts. And they know they leaving out facts. It's one thing to say facts about a fighter, and I forgot to say this, or I forgot to say that. They conveniently leave out the facts. And he told Brian Custer, I'm taking them how they come. If they come in medium rare, I'm eating them like that. They come in rare, medium well done, I'm taking them how they come. And one of the biggest inconsistencies that Crawford pointed out is that Manny Pacquiao went life and death with Jeff Horn. And when that Manny Pacquiao lost, all these brothers was happy that Manny Pacquiao lost. Tell me I'm lying. All these brothers was happy that Manny Pacquiao lost. All right? Everybody was saying, oh, Pacquiao got beat by Jeff Horn. It's over with for him. But as soon as Terence Crawford turned around and put his motherfucking size 12, whatever you wear, 10, up Jeff Horn's ass, all of a sudden, oh, man, Jeff Pacquiao got robbed by Jeff Horn. And that's how I can tell when boxing fans feel a particular fighter is a threat. If there was no Errol Spence in the welterweight division, Crawford would be probably a black fight fan favorite. Real talk. He's a threat to Terence. If he wasn't a threat, people, the fight would have been happening. He's a legit threat. And he said that. He said, man, I didn't lose a round of that man. I stopped him. And I got deductions on my performance. He pressured Manny Pacquiao. He cut Manny Pacquiao. He beat on Manny Pacquiao. He took Pacquiao's best shot and came back with the ninth after the ninth round, the 10th round, and he beat up Manny Pacquiao. This dude couldn't even touch me, and I stopped him with ease, and I dominated him. And people say, "Oh, he was overrated. Oh, he didn't fight nobody." What you talking about? Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao, and Keith Thurman didn't. I mean, what you talking facts, bars? And we ain't talking about it. However you look at it, if you say Pacquiao won, you couldn't have said no more than 7-5. If you said Jeff Horn won or lost, you can't say no more than 5-7 or 7-5. Really, you could have made a situation where Pacquiao didn't win by more than a point. ET Stu, salute. You can make it, but everybody was celebrating when Pacquiao lost. You know, and everybody wanted to fight Jeff Horn. But when Terence Crawford made him look like nothing, I mean, we can even rewind back when people say he don't fight nobody. He fought Felix Diaz. Diaz really beat Lamont Peterson. They robbed him. You know what I'm saying? And this was a younger Lamont Peterson. This is way before he fought Errol Spence. He was 3 years inactive before he fought David Alvarez, I believe. And then he fought Errol Spence. So he was hella inactive. This was a young, spry Lamont Peterson that really Felix Diaz gave him business to. He went down and fought Felix Diaz. He butchered him. He punished him. Like, that's like, you know, I had a situation in school where a nigga was acting up, and the teacher told his dad to come to the class. The dad hid in the closet. He started acting up. Dad came out the closet back when you can do those things, and he took him to the bathroom and gave him that business. That's the type of ass whooping that is. Like when your mama tell you to go get the switch, or like Joe Jackson told Mike and Marlon and them to go get the switch. That's the type of ass whooping he gave him. Punishment, abuse. I mean, he knocked his dick and his balls in the dirt. And I don't even think he was able to retrieve his dick and his balls out the dirt. He got punished. Punished. Like, dude, I ain't never seen Errol Spence punish nobody like that. I'm talking facts. I ain't never seen Sean punish nobody. Or Keith. Keith would have sat there and outpointed Felix Diaz like he did Bundu. He punished this nigga. He stood in the pocket and punished him. Like, dude, he whooped him. He beat him into submission. And that's a fact. He beat him into submission. John Molina went the distance with Adrian Broner. He fought Terence Crawford. He got beat into submission. Benjamin Foster, he got beat. You know, so like he said before, I'm fighting my mandatories. I'm doing what I got to do. I even look vulnerable versus Engis Kavalaskis. And guess what? He said they were Al Heyman. He said Al is an advisor. He can advise you to take the fight and not take the fight. He said these fights can happen. They just don't want to take them. He said when Sean Porter had a belt, he wasn't knocking on my door. But he said, you know what? I'll fight him. Even though we close friends. He said, I didn't want to fight him, but you know what? I'll fight him. He said, Keith Thurman called me out and said, send the contract. He said, I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? He said, Ugas, I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Since all the fun is over there, like Sean Porter said, we'll send him a contract and let's see what add up. But he said that, you know, since they don't have a network contract, they can easily come over and fight on ESPN. None of them have a network contract. From Wilder to Spence to Keith Thurman to Porter to Ugas to Brandon Figueroa, Stephen Fulton, no Premier Boxing Champion fighters have a network contract. So they can happily skip their black ass and Cuban ass and Dominican ass and white asses. Shout out to Caleb Plant. We talk about him a little bit later. They can happily skip their asses over to ESPN. Amir Khan got $5 million to go fight Terence Crawford. That's more than what Errol Spence made in his 2 pay-per-views with Mikey and Sean Porter combined in guaranteed money. So ESPN willing to dish out the cash. It's just if you're willing to come get your ass beat, or you willing to try to beat Terence Crawford ass. We're not talking about no people like David Benavidez. I get it. He 23, 24 years old. We're not talking about Tank invading Lomachenko. He 24 years old. You're not talking about that. We're not talking about Ryan Garcia, 22 years old. We're not talking about Devin, 20, 21, 22 years old. We're talking about all these welterweights are 30 above. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and the majority, Danny Garcia, and the majority of these dudes have moved down in weight throughout their career. So in actuality, you scared of a dude that started off at lightweight. It makes no sense. They've been all them niggas been sitting in this division since PBC started, 2015, probably even longer, and they just not starting to fight each other. And the only reason Zulu Immortal Salute, and I'm gonna continue on what he said. The only reason they starting to fight each other is to keep Terence Crawford name out the conversation. But he went on and continued to say, he said that we talked about him saying what he said about that with Pacquiao, and he asked him, like, if you had one fight, regardless of weight class, who would you want to fight? And he said Lomachenko. And his fantasy fight with Lomachenko, regardless of weight class, and it's a fantasy fight. I remember last decade, probably after 15, they did, I think might have been ESPN, Dan Rayfield did a good piece. I can't remember who it was. It was the best stylistic fights regardless of weight class. So basically, you can say Brandon Rios versus Viterbia, styles wise, make a great fight regardless of weight class. And that's kind of right around the same kind of question this was, and at the end of the day, it's personal. When they promote somebody who don't bring a return more than they promote you and you bring a return, Crawford can go to Madison Square Garden and put more asses in the seats than Lomachenko. He can go to Omaha and Lincoln and put more asses in the seats than Lomachenko can at his own house. And when they continue to put the promotion and they continue to put and promote him better and promote his fight and say how great he is, and he's not fucking with you, then that's a totally different situation. He said he would like to see how Lomachenko would approach him in the fight, and it would be a chess match. He said he one of the greatest fighters of all time overall, including his amateur career. Remember he challenged Lomachenko to fight him at a catchweight of 137, I think it was, when he was at 40. And Lomachenko said, "No, Crawford is the best fighter in the world." Lomachenko co-signed that shit until Bob Arum told him to stop saying that. So it's a crazy thing about it, man. But he also went on. He talked about Wilder and Fury as well too. And basically, he was asked about who his favorite fighter to watch right now is, and he said Deontay Wilder. He said Tyson Fury, and he basically just said that he good friends with Wilder, but once Fury took that punch and got off the canvas in their first fight in the 12th round and basically came back and won that round, it was a wrap. He knew he could take Deontay Wilder punch, and he knew that he was going to beat Wilder. And it's unfortunate that was the honest synopsis of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And with Deontay, I mean, hopefully, he ended up learning how to counter punch. How to combination punch, and how to hold his own on the inside, and learn the one. It ain't no two without the one. So you gotta learn to really master the one, and master the different variations of jabs and stuff of that nature. But conventional wisdom tell people that Tyson Fury gonna win the rematch and he'll go on and fight Anthony Joshua, and it is what it is. We move on. We seen Ali fall. We seen Sugar Ray Leonard fall. We seen a lot of great fighters fall. So it ain't the end. We had the real big baby Jared Anderson out of Toledo. We seen that in the Rock kid Damian Rock out of Philadelphia. It's some good prospects. Some people like FN Jabwe. So the American boxing heavyweight scene, it isn't dead yet, but he talked a little bit about Nebraska, and he talked a little bit about that. But he did talk about fighting Errol Spence, and he said basically that when he envisions a fight, he don't really see himself losing. And he said how he was going to attack Errol Spence. He said that Errol Spence, he don't believe Errol Spence is going to pressure him. Easy Baby 1988 salute. He said he don't think Errol Spence is going to pressure him. He said he think he's going to try to apply. I'm just kind of giving you the definition of what he's saying, defining what he's saying. I think he was trying to basically say that he felt that Errol Spence was going to apply pressure, smart pressure, and try to stick and keep the jab out there. And he said once he pretty much change styles and switch the pace up and figure Errol Spence out, he said if he don't make an adjustment and he don't keep up with the pace, he basically gonna get ran over. He's very, very confident about beating his ass, and it seemed like he envisioned that fight all the time. But also he said that it's just business. He said he liked Errol Spence. He said all of them like Errol Spence in the amateurs. They liked him coming up, with Team USA. and he said he was a fan of Errol Spence, but he said unfortunately it's business. And he said unfortunately it's business, but also he talked about there was a plan for him to move up to 154 pounds and challenge for a belt, which I told y'all that's one of the options he was going to do. But what turned out is Patrick Teixeira ended up beating y'all favorite fighter in the chat, Carlos Adames. Once Adames lost, they talked about fighting Patrick Teixeira, but then PBC, who doesn't recognize the WBO belt, they end up ordering Brian Carlos Castano to fight Teixeira, cutting Crawford off the deal. Now, if Crawford truly wanted to move up, cool man said, man, Q-tip salute. Share the videos, please. Thumbs up when y'all come in. If they truly wanted to make that fight happen, Crawford could have been named the WBO Super Champion like Usyk was, but they chose not to go that route. So PBC is gonna try to basically consolidate the 154-pound division if Teixeira can beat Castanos, and Castanos beat Errol Spence in amateurs as well. So he also beat Sergey Derevyanchenko in the World Series of Boxing. Derevyanchenko was like 22 and 23 and 1, and Castanos gave him his only loss. So that you can find that fight on YouTube, Derevyanchenko versus Brian Carlos Castanos. Actually was a very entertaining fight. That was the only loss that Derevyanchenko had in the World Series of Boxing. But he said that was the plan to go up and be a four division weight champion. But that kind of got when Adames lost, it got in the way. Adames and Crawford sparred at Gleason Gym with interchangeable sparring partners for Crawford. So if you were interested in looking in that one, that's there as well too. But that's pretty much what he talked about. He talked about a few other things, but main thing people focused on was him saying he signed with Top Rank to fight Manny Pacquiao, and also he said that and I gotta end on this one. He said when he was chasing Pacquiao, people was telling him leave him alone. He old, let it go. And even remember Pacquiao tried to say Crawford ducked him, which it didn't turn out to be true. He said when Pacquiao went to PBC and started fighting Broner and Keith, they started saying he back and he the best fighter in boxing, and they started saying he need to fight this guy and it's okay to fight Earl, and they want to see that fight. But when he was in that position to fight Pacquiao, and Pacquiao was ducking him, they was basically giving excuses on why Pacquiao shouldn't fight him, and that's the life of a fighter that's on the Larry Holmes list. You know what I'm saying? That's just when you on the Larry Holmes list, that is what it is. There ain't shit you can do. When you want the fan favorite list, like Sugar Ray Leonard pulled a whole bunch of whole moves throughout history, but they'll never let you know that. Muhammad Ali was, the original Larry Holmes list, but when he started shaking and shit, people start, liking him. Ali wasn't like Ali had a worse style than Floyd Mayweather, but they won't tell you that. You feel me? Ali did some raccoon and shit too. You know what I'm saying? People looking at Mayweather, and so did Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard did some whole shit. He got sued by Donald Curry for pulling a whole ass move. You know what I'm saying? Go look that up, man. Like I did Aaron Pryor, and people try to say, well, they try to give you they try to justify what Ray Leonard did. Ray Leonard was the original punk ass catchweight king. You know what I'm saying? I respect him as a fighter. Don't get it twisted, but shit, man, history is history, man. History shouldn't be subjective to what you want to believe. Ray Leonard was doing way more worse whole shit than motherfucking than Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? He was damn near worse than Manny Pacquiao whole ass, but I already went in on Pacquiao the other night. So if you missed that live stream, you need to go look at the last boxing live stream I did Saturday night. Yo, that was hilarious. Um, yeah, that was hilarious. There's a lot of little hidden in information there. If you want to see that, was a good stream, man. But like I said before, man, sometimes you gotta let them know, but they don't care because now playing that subjective game, you got the black fans doing it too now. You know what I'm saying? We cried about it with Floyd Mayweather and shit, and where we said, hold on, yeah, we did it with Floyd Mayweather. Now a lot of these whole ass YouTube niggas doing the same thing that happened to Floyd. They doing that shit for Wilder. They doing that shit for Ray Leonard. Like I said before, being real ain't lucrative. Being real ain't popular. keeping it 100 ain't a popular. These dudes in boxing want to hear what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all ain't gonna support it, y'all ain't gonna share, y'all ain't gonna listen. I'm not gonna sit here and fight boxing motherfuckers and fight YouTube at the same time. I'm just not gonna do it no more. So I'm gonna keep the boxing content to a bare minimum. I'm gonna give you enough to get through your day. But like I said before, man, if motherfuckers don't start sharing my shit and supporting it, then shit, I'll just go down another avenue where motherfuckers gonna appreciate it. That's real shit because it just seems like the fake ass niggas they prosper in this shit, and y'all can have the boxing. I really can because it ain't too many real fans left. All the real fans been converted to hoism. Just acting like hoe ass niggas. It's kind of representative of what's going out there in the real world. Just ain't no more solid niggas out here. It's just a whole bunch of funny and corn chip ass dudes, man. Real solid niggas is becoming obsolete. Real talk. Low blow champ salute. Two man said I've been missing out on the live stream lately. Back on my workout kick. I haven't dropped in quarantine. Pound salute. Yeah, drop that shit. Gyms ain't open where I'm at. But that's all pretty much he had to say. If you missed the interview, you can check out Brian Custer's podcast, The Last Stand, and I'm gonna end on this. And I said this shit earlier. I don't know if I finished talking about it because I switched to talk about Clarissa for a minute. One of the things that I'm starting to notice is a lot of these motherfuckers frown upon people that do YouTube and say we not real journalists, we not real media. I mean, you hear it all the time. Ishay Smith said we should have to buy tickets, which it don't apply to me because I'm not interviewing you sweaty ass niggas, right? I don't wish to interview you at no live fight. If I need to buy a ticket, I can buy a ticket. I can get a free ticket to most of the the mid level and lower shows. And I have bought tickets before. I never had a media credential in none of the boxing fights I've been to. I've been to quite a few fights, and I paid my way every time except for once when the promoter invited me to come. And I gave my honest opinion, and he got mad. So, like I said before, when you go into that atmosphere, you want to interview people, bro, that's cool. But be prepared for it to be corporate. Be prepared for that shit. You ain't going to be able to say what you want to say, but that is what it is. But I know it's a lot of these dudes coming down to the slums. They coming to the hood. They coming to the ghetto. In my too short voice, they coming deep in the ghetto. Roland Martin talk shit about YouTubers, said we not real. You got all these fighters talk shit about YouTubers. Remember Kenny Porter told us to take our broke asses down and this, that, and the third. You got all these people that's frowning upon YouTube and we ain't shit, this, that, and the third. When I look to my left, I see Jason Whitlock. When I look to my deeper to my left, I see motherfucking Roland Martin. When I look to my right, I see Brian Custer. When I look to my right, I see Bill Simmons. When I look to my left on Spotify, I see Jamel Hill. When I keep looking around, I keep seeing that these motherfuckers with PhDs, master's degrees on Fox, FS1. I see Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, no disrespect, love Showtime, All the Smoke podcast. When I first started this shit, what is it, 2020, 15 or 14, 5 or 6 years ago, when I first started dabbling in YouTube, nigga wasn't none of these people standing next to me, bro. None of them. All of a sudden they talk shit about us and they hear with they suit and ties and with their microphones and with their editors and they right here in the motherfucking ghetto with me. You get fired off ESPN. Showtime stopped for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They right here eating motherfucking chitlins and fucking pork and beans and Vienna sausages right here with me. Why you in the motherfucking hood, man? Why you ain't go back to your motherfucking suite with Showtime and CBS Sports and I look around and all these dudes got podcasts. You know what I'm saying? I look around, I got a lot of company. These people get fired. They get fired and they come down here with the slums. You know? You look at the difference how they treat dudes. They give us one media credential and they sit motherfuckers all the way in the gondola in the top of the motherfucking stadium, in boxing events. Or you gotta sit in the media room. You gotta, basically gotta try to run down and get interviews. And these dudes get the interviews, they get the big checks, and you down here with me. Is it being selfish? Is it greed? Or do they see the wave of the future is, hey man, I ain't gotta have Showtime censoring me. I can say what I want to say on this motherfucker. You think Showtime, if they gave Brian Custer a show, they allow Terence Crawford to come over there and do an interview? Absolutely not. Look at Showtime picking up the Jesus and whatever that dude name is. Look at the Zone picking up them two dudes from wherever the fuck they got them from. They starting to pluck people from the streets. They starting to go straight to the hood. We don't remember we didn't matter. What Tim Smith say with our little YouTube channel, we don't matter. But y'all show be running y'all ads on here. Y'all fighter show be running to us. Guys like Kenny Porter still talking to several YouTubers, leaking information to them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all show love us. So, JA salute. I ain't like I said before, man, I'm getting a lot of company here. But the difference between me and them, bro, I ain't got no push behind me. I'm a one-man army, bro. I ain't got no push behind me. You know what I'm saying? Brian Custer, his shit got motherfucking monetized quick as hell. My other channel, I'm still waiting to get monetized. So if you ever want to get on YouTube, the game is rigged. Make sure you spread your platform out. If you can, get your website, start your podcast, because this shit for the birds, bro. They definitely need some competition. This shit, YouTube is like UFC. It's like UFC. It's a dictator. You don't have no other opposition. Daily Motion, Twitch, you don't have no real ops. You feel what I'm saying? But that is what it is on that point. Talk about Dillian Whyte, aka Lillian Whyte. A lot of these, man, I be seeing a lot of these cornball raccoon dudes on YouTube, man. Like, I be looking like dog. Like, dude, it's certain dudes, black dudes out here I be watching, bro, who don't have an ounce of color in them. They might be brown, they might be black, they might be light skinned, but they soul ain't got no melanin in it. These motherfuckers out here crying for Dillian Whyte, bro. They'll rip Wilder, but they'll sit here and say, "Oh my God, Dillian Whyte is getting mistreated." So Dillian Whyte didn't fail a drug test a while ago. He failed another drug test. Let's keep it 100. He failed 2 drug tests, and 1 drug test versus Oscar Rivas. They knew he failed a drug test, and they let the fight still go on. So he knew he fought with a competitive advantage. And this the dude you feel bad for? He ducked Luis Ortiz on several occasions. 2 title eliminators for Luis Ortiz. He ducked the title eliminator versus Dominic Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Get out of here, man. Nobody feel bad for him. Nobody. He could have fought Dominic Brazil a couple years ago in December. I think it was on the Charlo card. Korobov and Charlo and Harrison and Charlo won. He could have fought Dominic Brazil there. He fought Derek Chisora in a rematch. He could have fought Luis Ortiz a couple years ago in July. He chose to fight Joseph Parker. He could have fought Luis Ortiz again. He chose to fight Joseph Parker. So why do I feel bad for him to begin with? Real Hughes, a little IC Force. I don't feel bad for that, man. And it's Eddie Hearn fought. You know what I'm saying? If Eddie Hearn didn't jerk Wilder around the way he did, Al Heyman would have made Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte fight happen. It ain't no reason why Deontay and Dillian Whyte fight didn't happen. That was an easy fight for Wilder. Dillian Whyte ain't shit. Every time I look up, he on the floor getting beat up by some fucking bum. Al Heyman should have sent Wilder over to the UK and demolished him. Especially if Eddie Hearn was fronting the bill. But this is what you talk about with these niggas today, bro. With these dudes today, I can see with a female. These dudes today, including Al Heyman, they let personal feelings get in the way of good business. It's a great thing that Deontay would have went over there in England and took Dillian Whyte's head off. That'll put even more pressure to make the AJ fight. They let personal feelings get in there. Eddie Hearn played him. He took the belt from Sean Porter. He took the belt from Kamada with Jamie McDowell. And then he tried to steal his fighters. Okay, we get it. But you had a sure thing with Wilder and Dillian Whyte. Wilder would have made $7-8 million beating up Dillian Whyte ass. That was a sure thing. But like Frank Warren said, it's the promoter fight. The promoter fought, excuse me. You telling me that Eddie Hearn couldn't have got Dillian Whyte ordered to fight, AJ? Why not? You telling me he couldn't make the Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder fight? Why not? Derek Bailey and Common Sense Salute. He couldn't make those fights happen. Eddie Hearn can get, he can get Kell Brook, Errol Smith's fight. He can get Kell Brook a Golovkin fight. If it wasn't for the travel ban, he can get Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. He get Kell Brook that fight. He get AJ any fight he want. He's still getting Derek Chisora fights. You know what I'm saying? He getting everybody fights. He about to get Luke Campbell a title shot at probably Devin Haney. He getting Tevin Farmer. He got Tevin Farmer a whole bunch of easy ass title defenses where he could pad his bank account. He about to make Dimitri Bivol and Gilberto Ramirez. He would have got Billy Joe Saunders to Kid Canelo fight. He really got Demetrius Andrade to Billy Joe Saunders fight, but we know what happened. So why couldn't your promoter get you those fights? Bob Arum can pay to have Lomachenko have two belts and get him to fight for a vacant third belt. So you need to be looking at Eddie Hearn. It ain't just Mauricio Sulaiman, fucking you. Eddie Hearn playing Dillian Whyte. And he sit right there and let the daddy say I was a slave trader. No spine, no backbone. Don't know black man, Jamaican, Caribbean, wherever the fuck you from, black American, not Nigeria. Should no black man sit there and let no white man tell him that I was a slave trader? Fuck that. I'd have took my dick off and pissed in Barry Hearn's face. But that just let you know what type of dude he is. He ain't got no spine. He talk all this shit about Wilder, but Eddie Hearn treated him like a stepchild. First it was, Wilder ducking Dillian Whyte. What about Tyson Fury openly coming out saying that I ain't fighting him? I dropped the belt. Where's the headlines for that at? Where's the headlines for that at? There's no headlines for that. But it was every week Wilder was ducking and Wilder was ducking and Wilder was ducking. And Wilder said, I'll fight him if you promise me Anthony Joshua. Which it shouldn't even have been that. You fight Bermain Stavern in a rematch. You trying to fight Luis Ortiz again. I mean, what was the point of fighting Luis Ortiz again? Now, if you lose to Tyson Fury, I mean, your career highlight is beating a dude who never won a world title. At least you could have put another highlight reel knockout versus Dillian Whyte on your resume. It just didn't make no sense not to make that fight happen. But Eddie Hearn is the reason why Dillian Whyte ain't getting these fights. He owned 3 of the heavyweight belts. Why just can't make Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua too? You know what I'm saying? Why did he step in and fight Anthony Joshua instead of Andy Ruiz? Don't matter. It's a title. It's a shot at 3 titles. Why did they outsource it and reach out to Kanowski and they reached out to Andy Ruiz? That should have been Dillian Whyte in there beating up on AJ ass. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, I don't care if it was a Madison Square Garden. Andy Ruiz wasn't no big known fighter. He had been inactive for a while. You could have brought a taste of England to motherfucking Madison Square Garden. Why didn't Eddie Hearn get Dillian Whyte to Anthony Joshua? And if Dillian Whyte didn't want the fight and he wasn't in shape, that's your fault. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. He's just a cherry picker, bro. He always trying to fight somebody after they lose. Joseph Parker. He tried to fight Andy Ruiz after he lost. He trying to fight Povetkin because he old. He fought an old ass Lucas Brown. And people got the nerve to talk about his resume. His resume is garbage, bro. Joseph Parker really lost to Huey Fury. And AJ struggled with Joseph Parker because he was scared to get touched. And the referee, and they struggling with Joseph Parker. Andy Ruiz really beat on Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker should have had 3 or 4 losses before he even got to AJ. Real talk. You talking about Derek Chisora? Come on, man. Derek Chisora wouldn't make it out the first round with Deontay Wilder. It's a bum. Lucas Brown, a bum. Whyte, a bum. Povetkin old as fuck. No, don't forget Povetkin was supposed to fight Wilder. Then he pumped it up. Then he supposed to fight Severn at the end of that same year. He got caught again. So who did he fight? Oscar Rivas? Get out of here, bro. He was cheating when he fought Oscar Rivas. He should be banned from the sport of boxing, bro. Should be banned, bro. This dude and Eddie Hearn shouldn't have a license in Kentucky, in Nevada, in Watford, in East London, West London, North London, South London, nowhere. In Wales, in Scotland, in the Ukraine, in Russia, in Japan, in China, in Korea, North and South, Australia, and Antarctica. He should, whatever, Australia, he should not have a boxing promoter's license. Imagine if Al Heyman let one of his fighters that he knew failed the drug test fight somebody else fighter. The ramifications, man, they crucify Al Heyman and light that bitch on fire like he was a Joan of Arc. Ain't no way, man. I wouldn't took no amount of money from Oscar Rivas for them niggas, man. I'd have got my money in the form of a lawsuit. And what Oscar Rivas do? He even thought about signing with Eddie Hearn after that. You gonna make a deal with the deal out your mind, bro. Just let you know, man, where a lot of these dudes' minds at, man. I don't feel bad for no Dillian Whyte. I don't feel bad for no Dillian Whyte, bro. I just don't. Don't give me, oh, he's a brother. AJ is a brother now. I ain't heard Dillian Whyte speak up like AJ at all. And he let a white man tell him that I used to fucking used to whip your people and make them fucking crop my farm and shit of that nature and colonize my goddamn area. I respect AJ went out there and he told them motherfucking white people, I said what I said. If you don't like it, eat a dick. Salute to AJ. Where Dillian Whyte been at? What has Dillian Whyte said about this? Tyson Fury too? What did he said about what's going on? Some fake ass statement. He's a stone cold racist too. Not missing no words, bro. Not missing no words, man. Well, racism doesn't exist in the UK. Remember David Hayes said that? That's where it started at, bro. And they learned the trade from the Arabs. The Arabs had the niggas and the Negroes and fucking enslaved before the white people did. White people didn't create slavery. And the Arab slave trade was worse than the white slave trade. Castration. They castrated most of the black males and they separated from the females. And like 80 or 90% of the males they castrated died. And these the same people that's selling us fried chicken and selling us gas and they allowed to be in our community. If most people knew that, man, we run them the fuck up out our community. So they don't get no pass. And a lot of people going around saying, oh, don't forget about the Hispanic brothers and what's going on, with, them getting, sent back to motherfucking Mexico and shit of that nature. Man, I feel bad for that whole situation. But when we going through on a grand scale, we don't get their support. Look at what the Latin Kings did to the brothers in Chicago. Just saying, bro. It's a fact. We can't look for these people to bail us out, man. If we looking for white people to bail us out and other people to bail us out, it's gonna be a trick. It's gonna be a trap door where it's gonna trap us. We gotta wake up. It's the same thing for the Hispanics. Y'all gotta wake up and take y'all motherfucking land back. New Mexico, part of California, Texas. Y'all got to wake the fuck up and take y'all shit back. But if you waiting for brown and white and black to work together, shit, if you hold your breath, you're gonna be dead. Straight up and down. Francisco, salute. It's been created for us to not work together. True enemy is the white man. Just saying it, bro. I'm not saying all y'all motherfuckers bad, but that's the true enemy. Asians got color in their skin. Arabs got color in their skin. Hispanics got color in their skin. We supposed to be working together. When Pangea happened in the continent, one big continent broke up, that was meant to happen. It's more of us than it is of them. And Dillian Whyte sit there and let that white man disrespect his ancestors, disrespect his family name, and disrespect him as a man. I don't give a fuck what contract he got. He had the contract of a cup of piss or a cup of hot ass coffee on his face. And when they said Barry Hearns had a heart attack, I can care less if he had a heart attack. I give a fuck less if he went to meet his maker. If he met Jehovah, or he met the Most High, he met God, he met Jesus, I can give a fuck less if he died. I can care less. Oh, that's cold. I don't give a fuck. They killing us every day and they don't care if we die. They hanging us every day. I don't care less about Eddie Hearn health or Barry Hearn health. If they came up missing and we couldn't find them, good, victory. Same thing for Dillian Whyte. That's the problem. He got all this to say about Wilder, all this to say about Tyson Fury. Where was that energy at with Barry Hearn? I don't feel bad for him, and he cheated the game. These cheaters getting too much of a pass. Povetkin's, the Dillian Whytes, and all of these dudes, man, throughout boxing history, man, these dudes getting the pass. Antonio Margarito literally put concrete in his hand in his wraps, and it was nothing happened. Nothing happened. Canelo literally cheated, and nobody cares. Pacquiao, a lot of people believe Pacquiao cheated throughout his career. Nobody cares. He was known not to take drug tests when the drug test was in and it was hot. He had an email telling Floyd and them not to if I pop hot, keep it on the low. Come on. Come on, bro. But Panama Lewis is out the game, and rightfully so. Dillian Whyte should be right with him for a long ass time. Antonio Margarito should be sitting right next to Panama Lewis. But people still bringing that shit up about the black bottle with Aaron Pryor 30, 40 fucking years later. But they don't want to have a conversation about Pacquiao. They don't want to have a conversation about Dillian Whyte. They don't want to have a conversation about Alexander Povetkin. They don't want to have a conversation about Margarito. They don't want to have a conversation about Canelo Alvarez. But they'll say, well, James Toney did this. Well, Roy Jones did this. Oh, this is why he should. Oh, what about Canelo? How many people that Chavez stick up and robbed? So I ain't trying to hear all that, man. How many people he stuck up and robbed blind? I'm the wrong one. You know, oh, King Canelo, and Canelo's the best. Yeah, the best fucking cheater. You know, this dude not only has got a competitive advantage in his ass, he got a competitive advantage with the commissions. They let him stack his glove. He got a competitive advantage with the contracts and with the promotional company. You know what? It's easy to fight the best when you know you're going to win. It's easy to fight the best when you got apologists. No matter if they see you get knocked out the ring, go to sleep, they give you some smelling salt, some ammonia, wake back up and put you back in the ring. It's easy for people to sit there and be apologized. See, us as black fans, that's not us. Silent child salute. That don't look good on us. You feel me? That look good for the Hispanic fans, for the white fans, for the brown fans, for the Puerto Rican fans, for the English fans. We real. We supposed to be real in this boxing shit, bro. We ain't supposed to be making all these excuses for Wilder. We don't do that. We can't pull them on we can't pull them on them. That's called being a hypocrite. For years, we beat down motherfucking Pacquiao fans and Canelo fans in the comment section. For being, let them be hella biased. They gotta be hella biased. Because they only got a few great fighters compared to us. All the greatest fighters of all time, the majority of them is fucking black. If you don't like it, hey, you don't like it. From Henry Armstrong to Ray Robinson to Muhammad Ali, you can go up and down the boxing scale. We dominate heavyweight. We dominate everything, almost to the paperweight down there. Mark too sharp. I mean, we keep going on. Look at it now. I mean, from a Wilder, you know, I mean, even got a brother to beat him though he lost, you know, fighting that cruiserweight, to Marcus Brown, to Andre Ward, who was like heavyweight at 68. You know what I'm saying? He was at 68 Ward. I mean, you could just keep going on and on. Andrade and Charlo and Harrison and J-Rock and Spence Crawford and Regis, and I'll get to him later, Maurice Hooker, and I mean, you could just keep going down and down the scale. Lightweight, Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, 26. You still got Tevin Farmer, Jamil Hearing. You got Shakur Stevenson moving up 20. I mean, that's 30. 26, you got Gary Russell. You feel me? You can just keep going up and down the fucking scale of great fighters throughout history and currently now. We there. We don't have to be blind apologists because we don't have to wait and for the next guy to come up and wait years. The next guy's already here. Man, B, they can have heavyweight. We dominated heavyweight from Foreman to Ali to Jack Johnson. You want to keep going on and on and on. Ken Norton, the Shavers. We had good contenders. We had good bums. We had elite fighters. Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson. Guys like Michael Spinks, who might be the greatest light heavyweight of all time and one of the greatest. Archie. You know what I'm saying? Michael Moore, another one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time. We don't have to like just be blind, faithful apologists. We can say, oh man, Wilder got beat. But you know what? We're gonna have another great one. History tells us. We got another one that's at light heavy. We got another one at middleweight. You know what I'm saying? We got Roy, we got Marvin, you know what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Robinson. You can just keep going on and on and on. We don't have to do that. It's rare occasions where you see we got that type of Chavez type of pull, that type of Canelo pull. We ain't got a hoodwink nobody. We good. We was born with it. We ain't have to just all the way develop it. We was born with it. We ain't always need Don King or Bob Arum or nothing. We was born with it. And just like in the real world, where they don't want the black man to wake up and realize who he is, our enemy is now becoming not only just everybody else, but the black women is starting to hate us. In boxing, they don't want the brothers to wake up and see truly what they can be if they work together and they fight each other and see that we really pull. If we truly show how we pull at the box office, you know what I'm saying? Then boxing, the narrative is going to become overtaken by black. Black pay-per-view stars, black multimillionaires, a whole bunch of Floyd Mayweather S millionaires walking around getting it. A whole bunch of black fans supporting them and not dividing over, oh, he from Omaha, he from Dallas, or no, we all celebrate. They don't want the black man to wake up on no aspect. They don't want the black athlete to wake up and say, you know what? I'm tired of being a worker. I want to own the ball club. Or we need a black commissioner. That's all. It's all facts. As long as we fighting amongst each other over Wilder and over Big Baby Miller and over Earl and Terence Crawford, that's the distraction they need to keep pushing these motherfucking Mexicans and pushing these fucking English fighters down our throat. If we work together and we promote a fight versus Crawford and Spence together, and we push that fight and we support it and the numbers are unbelievable, then the next great black fighter happens. The next great, they don't want Ray and Marvin no more. They don't want Ray and Leonard no more. And these dudes that work for these companies like Premier Boxing Champions and Top Rank and DAZN within their own company internally, they don't want these black fighters to succeed. It ain't just because, oh, I don't want to waste money and it ain't going to sell. Bullshit. They said that to James Brown about how black artists don't sell, and black people don't buy records. James fucking Brown had a jet. James Brown and Sam Cooke was about to own the first major distribution by black people, and they killed Sam Cooke. It ain't that we can't do it. It ain't that we won't do it. It's they trying to stop us and have us beefing amongst ourselves not to do it. And you can apply that to everyday fucking work life. You go to a corporate company that don't have a union, they don't want you to create a union. That's why our turnover rate's so high. So can't nobody sit here and point out the issues, and y'all can't really get what y'all the compensation and the benefits that y'all own. And I ain't trying to speak no black shit. I'm just trying to kick that real shit, and that applies in boxing too. The black fan is there. The black fan got a voice. We got a platform. They wasted $60 fucking million, over $100 million on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. You gonna tell me we gotta wait for Crawford and Spence for the money to be right? No, they don't want to see them niggas give a great event, and they don't want to concede that black people can sell, and black fighters can sell, and black fight fans do exist. They don't want us to exist. They don't want us to have a platform. They don't want us, but they coming down to the slums with the niggas. They coming down here with us, Willie D's and Roland Martin. They coming down here with us. They coming down to the slums to eat Vienna sausages and cup noodles. That's the true meaning on why they don't want to pay Crawford and Spence. And them niggas need to wake up and demand that fight, bro, because there is life after you lose. And Tommy Hearns was knocked out a couple times. The Ren quit on national television and said, nigga, no mas. And he still went on to give Marvin Hagler a hell of a fight and beat Iran Barkley. This ain't just, oh, Marvin Hagler losing to Sugar Ray Leonard and retiring and going away and not having a career. It's plenty of dudes that lost and came back. Holyfield had draws and got robberies over Lennox Lewis and still came back and had a great career. James Toney lost to Roy Jones and still came back and had a great career. Terry Norris, even though he got stretched by Julian Jack, he still came back and had a good career. But they don't want us to wake up, bro. And Crawford and Spence need to wake up and say, you know what? Give us what y'all got. And watch every nigga that's from the hood take their money and go support them niggas, and they gonna be mad. They gonna be mad. I'll go to that fight and buy a pay-per-view and give somebody else money to buy a pay-per-view. They don't want that. It's gonna be Black Hollywood, bro. They don't want all them niggas in Vegas. Trust me. They do that fight, Vegas gonna say, oh no. No. It ain't Married Nation. It's to keep us oppressed as black fight fans and as black fighters. They don't want to pay these fighters. Same reason they don't want to pay Derrick Henry or they don't want to pay Dalvin Cook, but they'll pay Ryan Tannehill. Just like Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. They didn't want Deontay Wilder to get that money for real. And they didn't want Joshua to get that money fighting Wilder. So it was convenient that Joshua didn't want to taste that right hand, so he didn't want that fight. But here comes Tyson Fury, who displayed power and displayed a more dangerous arsenal than AJ. But what's the difference between Deontay and Tyson Fury? It ain't just about no fucking UK. UK is peanuts compared to what's going on in the American market. Plus, Tyson Fury don't have a fucking license to fight in the UK. It's about, oh, we could pay this white guy. In the process, we could pay this brother. When was two niggas about to get paid? They wasn't about, man, come on, man. MC Bree would have been, what, 40-something years old? You got to get mine. I got to get yours. 49 the other day. Like him and Pac say, got to get mine. I got to get yours. They don't want us to get ours. I mean, y'all need to wake up, bro. Y'all need to wake up. That's what's going on. Y'all talking about, we need to marinate and build this. I said this shit 3 years ago, bro. On 78 shit. I said, man, we don't need to marinate this fight. This shit we need to build it up. Nigga, it's already built up. I'm going to scrape my money together. You going to scrape your money together. We're going to go out there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Me and Tom going to go out there, and anybody else want to come out. We're going to ball out and make an event of it. I'm taking a whole week off. We're going to kick it. We're going to exchange knowledge, exchange black businesses, information. They don't want niggas to come together like that. If it's in Atlanta, I'm there. If it's in California, it's there. If it's in New York, I'm there. But don't believe that narrative they pushing that it ain't enough money in that fight. It's money. Niggas will spend money. If we spend 100, 500,000 on Gucci belts and satchels and Gucci purses and 5, 6, 700 on Balenciagas, brothers got money and sisters got money. That's gonna be the most black adventure. It's gonna be like the Black Grammys. Every entertainer should be there supporting them brothers, and they will, because we gonna push it. We gonna buy it. We gonna go to it, and it's gonna be a spectacle. And they know they gotta pay them niggas to do it again. They know it. Whoever come out, win, lose, or draw, this ain't about me hating on Errol Spence. My whole situation with Errol Spence is because he pumping his gums like David Benavidez, and I'm consistent. He the one that's not pushing for this fight because they talking him out of it. But if Errol Spence was in a fucking jungle and Terence Crawford was in the jungle and Terence Crawford standing on one side of the fucking tree and Errol standing on the other side of the tree and they had to fight for survival, best believe me, ain't no white collars, ain't no white suits, ain't no blue collars, ain't no black bow ties gonna stop them from fighting. That man to take that fight if they wasn't talking him out of it. Before the accident, they talking him out of it. If it was up to him, he'd fight Terence Crawford in the middle of fucking in his hometown street. He fought Crawford in his backyard. I'm not assassinating that brother's character as a man. I'm just telling y'all what it is. He being influenced by the white collar. Same thing with the Charlo twins. Charlo's a strap they nuts on to fight anybody. But it's PBC from holding them back. How long you gonna hold them back? They 30 years old. Strike while the iron hot. They made their money. They counting their chickens. They copping the chicken like OJ the Juice Man. It's time to see. It's time to sink or float. And even if you sink, it's a career after that. It's a 54. It's a 60. It's a 68. There's another fighter. It's no shame to losing to the pinnacle. Same thing for Crawford. Same thing for Smith. Same thing for Charlo. Same thing for Golovkin. Same thing for Canelo. Same thing for Andrade. But don't buy into the narrative that we don't sell. That's the biggest mistake you making. Do not buy into the narrative. And the same thing that Rob Rodriguez said about Floyd. He said Floyd Mayweather messed the game up, seeing like all these boxers are scared of losing there. It ain't even that. Oh, we need this dude need a country behind him. That's what Floyd said. You don't need no country behind you, bro. If you would have got Earl or Crawford to fight, it would have sold just as good as way better than Madonna. You know, they trying to use, oh, it's the Pacquiao fight was built for 5, 6 years, man. Get out of here. But let's move on, man. Let's talk about Oscar De La Hoya, man. So I can open up for some Q&A, man. Let's talk about De La Hoya, man. Share the video, hit the thumbs up, man. Like I said, man, I'm fighting YouTube, bro. I've been fighting them. Hold on. Let's talk about Oscar De La Hoya had to say. All right, and we can talk about the purses tomorrow night at the end. I might have a few rumors for you guys. I don't know if y'all watch all the videos, so I don't want to sound redundant. But it says Oscar De La Hoya says due to King Ryan Garcia, King Ryan G, decision not to accept the July 4th bout, we will now return in late July with the future of boxing. Virgil Ortiz. More exciting details to follow at Golden Boy. So what happened with Ryan Garcia is this. He said that he had the third best viewership on the zone. They offered him 200,000. I mean, I guess he was gonna fight after Mares. I think I would have been interested in that fight. You know, it's better than what Top Rank putting on, which we'll get there. And he said he worth more than 200,000. But what you got to understand this about Golden Boy, at like when they was beefing last year with Canelo, was that last year? They were taking the money that the zone was giving them for Canelo, and they were paying they was paying the other fighters off with their stable. So they was paying Ryan Garcia off Canelo money. They was paying a lot of people off Canelo money. You know what I'm saying? So, um, what more can I say? So, if you notice, Canelo about to lead Golden Boy. And notice I've been saying this shit almost for a year now. Canelo is about to lead Golden Boy. Notice all Canelo fighters. If y'all real Canelo fans, y'all real Hispanic boxing fans, where is Julio Cesar Martinez signed to? He not signed to Golden Boy through Canelo. He signed through Matchroom through Canelo. All the Canelo fighters that he got on his promotional stable of recent is signing with Matchroom and not Golden Boy. Why is that the case? They ripped up Ryan Garcia contract. Ryan Garcia won more than 200,000 to fight Abner Mares. If he say he got the third biggest viewership behind Canelo and AJ on the platform, he deserved to get paid for it. He said he making more money in endorsements, so he not hurting for the money. He making more money in endorsements than he making for that fight. But then you also have to remember. Excuse me. You have to remember. I almost lost my train of thought trying to pick up this water. But you gotta remember as well too. With Ryan Garcia, is that with Oscar, they don't want to pay nobody. They don't want to pay nobody, bro. So Ryan Garcia got to understand that, and they laughing on he only make 200,000, and he just gonna sit on that. So it's at the point where and we talked about this, but another live stream where Ryan Garcia is just gonna have to say, or Oscar ought to say, let's just match him up and see if he sink or he float, straight up and down. See if he sink or he float. So he won't Tank. He won't these top fights. He won't Secure. He won't Devin. Put him in there with him. You don't want to pay him. You don't want to pay him. But for Ryan Garcia, when a dude keep asking for something and Oscar don't feel like he ready, I mean, you still got Virgil Ortiz. But you got 3 jobs to do. It's to keep Canelo happy, keep Ryan happy, and keep Ortiz happy. And they can't do it. They can't do it. And even Charlo told him that when he left Golden Boy, he started making 10 times more than what he was making over there. He said it was a fucked up thing. They promised Jamil Charlo Canelo fight. Oscar gave it to Austin Trout. He gave it to James Kirkland, and he moved on from it. He moved on. He wrote his letter for his release, and he got with Al. Remember, Jamel Charlo was with Shelly Finkel at first when he was a promoter. Shelly left and became a manager, and he did some other things throughout his career. But you know, for Ryan Garcia, it is what it is. He gonna stand on his principles. When you making more outside of boxing than your boxing check, man, I'm not trying to put myself through that abuse. People don't know what it feel like to train and fight and boxing, like, and just train for any sport. I heard Crawford say earlier that he considered football more brutal and more harmful than boxing. This chick that I don't know who he fighting. Benny Ochoa, salute. So you just heard Crawford said this earlier, man. And I was reluctant to leave. I forgot. I didn't mean to leave this out. But he was, I don't know how they end up on this top. He asked about his son being a wrestler. And his youngest son is really, really good, like really good. And he asked Crawford, like, how did you get into wrestling? He said, my daddy boxed and wrestled, and both sides of my family, they wrestled and boxed, I think he said. So he said he got kicked out the gym, and they sent him to wrestle. He was pretty good in wrestling. And he said he knew boxing was the one when he won this prestigious tournament, and he stuck with boxing. But he said he had never let his sons, he said he was never force his sons to do boxing or football. He said he would support them if they naturally gravitated to those sports. He wouldn't stop them from playing them. But he said he never wanted to introduce them to the sport. He said boxing, his sons just picked up on it with him going to the gym, and that's how they got done boxing. But he said that he felt that American football was more brutal than boxing, and that's saying a lot because, like I said before, American football is fucking brutal. It is. You know what I'm saying? From like just the physical grind in boxing, you can fight once or twice a year. You know what I'm saying? And you can build your health up. Even if you fought 4 or 5 times a year. In football, I mean, you train all summer. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you train all summer. You train, you go training camp in the summer. The fall come, you play a season, right? Let's say your season end in January. You got February, March, April to really heal, and then May. I say May, really May and June you should be getting yourself in shape. So it's pretty much a really tough job getting hit with them helmets. I mean, it hurt when your coach slap you on your helmet. You know what I'm saying? I'm still dealing with little injuries and stuff of that nature. It's a lot of abuse, man. And like I said before, I laughed at LeBron James for saying he wouldn't let his son play football. Neither will I. Neither will I. I wouldn't let my son play football. Now, if he chose to do it and he really wanted to do it, then yeah. I'm of the belief that when people ask me, or parents ask me about sports, baseball. Straight up and down, I give them that answer. Baseball, tennis, and first off is the education. Baseball and tennis is the two I probably say the most. You know what I'm saying? Those are two I probably say the most. Because basketball, it's a small chance that you can get it. Baseball, man, we naturally can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can make a good look out of homeboy that came out of high school and was in the Tigers. One of my homeboys, excuse me. He came out. He was in the Tigers organization. They cut that motherfucking check for $2 million in the minor leagues. So that was interesting that he said that. And I might do a small video. I got a video of him coming tomorrow, man. I got some information on him. And that's interesting, man, because I kind of can agree with boxing is a tough lifestyle too. You know what I'm saying? You don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. The abuse to the head, you taking abuse all the time. The difference in boxing between now and old school boxing is that it is really, and what people don't understand is it's really more dangerous to spar. You know what I'm saying? I had an interview with Joel Diaz about 5 or 6 years ago. He was training Felix Diaz the night Crawford beat him. And he also trained Timothy Bradley for some years. I talked to him when he was training Timothy Bradley. And he said his eye actually got messed up in a sparring accident. Somebody hit him on top of his head. So sparring is really, really dangerous because in a fight, you're only fighting 6, 4, 8, 12 rounds. In sparring, you might spar 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, hundreds of rounds in a training camp. So imagine you fight 2 times a year and then you sparring to stay sharp in between those camps. you're probably sparring 400 rounds a year. Instead of, or we fighting 6-8 weeks, we probably gonna have 20 30 rounds of sparring here, but you stand sharp in the ring. The difference is old school fighters stay sharp with fights, even if they was kickovers, pushovers, and tough fights. They fought 5 or 6 times a year. They didn't have to cut all this weight to get in shape. Neither they fought more closely to their natural weight. They stay sharp with actual fights. Now these fighters are staying sharp. They're staying sharp with sparring, and sparring is very, very dangerous, even with the headgear and the bigger gloves on. A lot of times you interchange and sparring, that's a lot of abuse to take on your head. Because I'm 27 and play football from 5 to 22, and my body is effed up. My son's wrestle and got a knack for hitting a baseball. I won't ever put him to play football unless he loves it like I did. That's it. That's it. That's it, man. While I'm pushing these, I mean, I see my father pushed me to play golf and all that and baseball and shit. That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? That's truly where it's at. But yeah, we'll finish off on Ryan and Oscar. I mean, um, it is what it is, man. Oscar, I mean, you look at some of these top ranked persons, man. Woof. Shakir Stevenson had the highest purse I seen was 400,000. But people saying, well, Ryan only getting 200,000, but Shakir Stevenson a champion. And he fought, but he did fight a non-title belt, but nonetheless he still holds a belt. So what is Ryan Garcia supposed to truly get? What is he supposed to truly get? You're making 2 times more than Shakir Stevenson did, and also you fighting on a company that's struggling to pay the bills and keep the lights on. He said I wanted to box. My pops won't let me. He didn't even want me playing football. Yeah, them old dudes. My dad didn't want me to box neither. I still dabbled in it, water throws, but that is what it is, man. But I don't know what he's looking for, but also your network having financial troubles, and Top Rank kicking it off, and they only can pay Shakir Stevenson $40,000. You know what I'm saying? So what do Ryan Garcia truly want? But we can let me read this stuff off. I'm gonna get a purses to tomorrow night's fight. So somebody Dan Rayfield tweeting them out. Tomorrow fight, Joshua Greer only getting 75,000. Mike Polania getting 40,000. Giovanni, whatever his name is, getting 30,000. Antonio DeMarco getting 30,000. Another guy named Bazaraza getting 6,000. Cameron Carrillo getting 8,000. Nicola's getting 6,000. Isaiah Jones, he from Detroit. Shout out to Lawrence Williams. He let me know he on the card tomorrow. He only getting 5,000. Hector Perez getting 4,000. And Juan Torres getting 3,500. So the purses ain't looking too good right now for boxing coming back without fans. And one thing Crawford said, and this is what I failed to mention in some of the videos, he said if they cut his pay, he ain't fucking fighting. He said he'll wait for the fans to come back before they cut his pay. If he don't get his minimum, he said he not fighting. Straight up and down. Crawford said that in the interview with Brian Custer. Yeah, somebody getting 3,500, bro. Like shit. The highest dude on Joshua Gear getting 75,000, and he probably need that 75,000 because it's getting hard out here, man. But yeah, Caleb Plant had an interview on Boxing Scene as we wind down a little bit. If you haven't hit the like button, share the video for your boy. He had an interview on Boxing Scene, and it's just narrative that's being painted that it's this narrative that's being painted that Caleb Plant is ducking the fight. All right. He says, Team Benavidez is dodging me. I want the fight. And David Benavidez did an interview with Ben Thompson the other day. He basically said that, like, man, I'll push for that fight next year and this, that, and the third. And I'm only 22, 23 years old. And you can tell he the one that's ducking. Anytime you hear a fighter say, oh, I didn't get no contract offer. Like, before you get a contract, you got to agree to terms. So he ducking the fight. And I was shocked when I found that out a couple months ago that Benavidez is truly ducking. But he says the reason there's a hold up, Caleb Plant saying this, on his Benavidez fight is not because of me. Their team has said that they don't want the fight right now. It doesn't matter how bad I want the fight. It takes two to dance, and I can't force until they have a change of heart. It will be a whole bunch of wishing, I guess, Plant told boxing scene. Although both fighters are represented by PBC, a face-off seems unlikely this year. David, promoter Samson to the Whiskey, was talking about how the fight won't happen in 2020, said Plant. Him and his team feel that our fight needs to wait. I need to be down the road and simmer more, and people need to pay more money for it. That's the fight I want. So, that's I mean, shit, Don't forget, Samson Tulowitzki told Jason Rosario that they need to build up the Jamel Charlo fight after he beat J Rock. Until Al Heyman said that. So, I mean, name me the biggest fight in super middleweight history financially in America. I couldn't even tell you what's the highest fight financially. Was I mean James Toney and Roy Jones? Maybe I'm not sure, but it ain't been too many mega clashes in America between two American fighters. Super middleweight is a weight that people don't care about. It's a catchweight class. It's supposed to be 60 to 75. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. Plant pushing for the fight. Benavidez keeps saying I'm only 22, 23. They don't feel like he's ready yet. And if you're not ready, you shouldn't be talking shit. You know, straight up and down. The loudest mouth in the room in boxing is usually the pussiest dude, man, or the dude that really don't want to fight nobody. And right now, Benavidez talking all this gangster shit, but he backing down, he ducking and hiding. I'll just be like, hey man, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. We trying to build this fight up, and what's so funny about it is when motherfuckers get to start lying or get to start, projecting on dudes. Sorry, this shit frozen. There's water. When they start trying to project, they say he said, Caleb Plant ain't beat nobody. Uh, you ain't beat no fucking body. You know what I'm saying? And PBC, to their credit, they wanted to make this fight this year. I said that at the end of last year. I said PBC trying to look to make that fight this year. And Benavidez and his team didn't want to fight. Don't forget Benavidez tried to leave Samson Boxing for Top Rank. Remember, he took like $250,000 from Bob Arum, and they was trying to breach the contract of Samson Tulowitzki, and they were saying that it wasn't a valid contract. Ishe Smith was sitting there saying that, you go, David. I'm sure Bob Arum wouldn't do no bad business. And long story short, Al Heyman returned the $250,000 in cash back to Top Rank. Al Heyman was willing to let Benavidez go over to Top Rank. And that's a real story. Look that up. He was willing to let Benavidez go to Top Rank and sell out Samson Tulowitzki. So, as a business partner, if I'm Samson Tulowitzki, and this is a dude who discovered Pacquiao and a lot of other great fighters, Al Heyman advised this dude to breach the contract that he just signed to David Benavidez and go to Top Rank. This lets you know how they rocking over there. But like Lou DiBella said, it's basically like either you working with Top Rank, you working with PBC, working with DAZN, or you working with PBC. Ain't no in between. Ain't no more main event fights on NBC and NBC Sports. Kathy Duba is doing business with Bob Arum, and even the Englishman. Frank Warren is not doing business with Bob Arum. Then you got Golden Boy and Matchroom doing business with the Zone. Then you got smaller promotion companies like Zafner Boxing and Lou DiBella is kind of doing business with some of the other companies as well too. So it's no in between. No in between. And you get this motherfucking idea, or you get this narrative that these dudes that's talk, I want to fight him, but they don't. When they come down to break these numbers down, it don't be real. Remember, we all heard that shit first from. I don't get a lot of credit for the shit I put out. I told y'all first, man, fresh out the barber chair. I said Canelo just offered Caleb Plant, but he not gonna take the fight. Go check that video. I was the first one saying that, bro. You look at all these other dudes, Nestor, Champs, all these motherfuckers, Box Ego, Negro Fifin, and 78. All these niggas got all these connections, but I know more than them before they know. So remember who told y'all Benavidez ducked that smoke first? I said that shit. Remember who told y'all that Errol Spence was holding up the Crawford fight? I said that shit. You know? Real talk. And that's what's really going on. Benavidez don't want the fight. They hide behind his age. They hide behind, and he's smart. At the end of the day, I'm gonna call a smart move a smart move. It's still a bitch ass nigga move. And what makes it a bitch ass nigga move is that you doing all this talking, and you got the fans getting mad at Caleb Plant saying that he a liar, and you the one that's chickening out. You know you the one that's holding up the fight. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard for them to say, right now, man, we want this fight to get more money. We were kind of holding it up right now, but I'm gonna get some more fights on my belt, and I'm gonna be ready for Caleb Plant when the time comes. That's all you gotta say. But now Caleb Plant gotta hop on live. Now he gotta see fans in the streets, and they, no, you ducking David Benavidez, you doing this. Dog, I told y'all, the longer they marinate this fight, the better it is for David Benavidez, the better possibilities he got to win the fight. They don't think he can beat Caleb Plant right now. I've been telling y'all that. Who has he fought? Uztaki is the best fighter between all of them they done fought. Who has he fought? Anthony the Real Old. They both fought Porky Medina. Ronald Garville, he got dropped. Niggas forget that. He got dropped. Like on the floor, laying down, sleeping bag, night, go to sleep, NyQuil. Put him in the casket drop. He got dropped. And I scored that fight for Ronald Garville. Then he hires Trevor Ariza. Ooh, I need to go to bed. Alex Ariza. And then he becomes this motherfucking in shape, unlimited stamina, bleak and brown fight night type of fighter. Man, come on, man. I'm going to tell it all. And I like the kid the way he fight when he brings to the table, but I ain't going to tell a lie. When they say somebody ducking somebody, I'm like, oh, man, I'll put a video out. I don't care. He said Uztaki lost the line out. He also lost to Korban, but that was a good fight. He the best fighter that he fought. That lets you know something. I let you know something. But he ain't fight nobody. I mean, if Uztaki and Ronald fought, I mean, shit, maybe it could go either way. No, but Caleb Plant did drop his ass like 3 times. Oh, shit. Badou Jack lost to some nigga named Derek Edwards. Went to sleep. So, shit, like I said before, Uztaki probably the most accomplished fighter he done fought. You know what I'm saying? I'll get it heads to Caleb Plant. If they want to build it up, cool. But Caleb Plant want that fight right now. Benavidez done. Don't forget, Callum Smith is a secondary mandatory for David Benavidez. So, I mean, because he holds the lineal, he holds the diamond belt, and he holds the super WBA belt. So, I don't understand why he ain't fighting Callum Smith. Callum Smith ain't doing shit. He just looked real. He really lost to John Ryder. But let's talk about Regis Prograis. Whatever Errol Spence called him. Let's talk about Regis. Yeah, man, they didn't have to tell me this. But they told me. I mean, anybody can see this that ain't the blind fanboy. He said, Benavidez was ducking, Prograis ducking Hooker too. Hooker is better now than he with Bomac. So at the end of the day, he ducking. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want to go up 1 more pound to fight Hooker. First, it was I don't want to go up to 47. You know what I'm saying? Then I want to go up to 44. Hooker say, man, I'll go to 44. I can come to 45. Oh, I ain't going to 45. I only stay at 44. Like, dude, Regis Prograis really, like, living in LA must have really pumped his head up. He do realize when he lost to Josh Taylor, even before he lost to Josh Taylor, he was a nobody. Nobody. Regis Prograis is not a household name. So he going around and he may fight Chris Algieri. Now, who the fuck want to see Chris Algieri and Regis Prograis at 143? Who want to see that fight? They giving these fighters too much options. Either you take this fight at 145 or 147 or get the fuck off our network. That's all you got to say. Where else Regis Prograis going to fight at if he can't fight on his own? PBC don't fuck with Lou DiBella. He going to go to Top Rank and fight who? Zepeda, Barashnik, who? They letting these dudes have too many options, bro. Too many options. This dude is straight ducking, bro. And nobody really cared because he don't have a title. Yeah, I'm gonna read what somebody else said, man. One of my dudes said this, man. He said if Hooker can't make 40, that's his fault. Next man ain't gotta do a catch. He said go up to 47. Go up to 47. He's still fighting Chris Algieri at 143. He's still fighting at a catch weight. Lawrence Williams, salute. I subscribe to the Lawrence Williams channel. So if you still doing a catch weight at 143, what's 2 pounds? if you chasing, he said Ali, he said he chasing Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor. They're gonna eventually fight each other and go up to 147. That's a fact. He said he was talking shit about Terence Crawford. Crawford at 147. He said he wanted to be the first person to beat Errol Spence. He at 47. He want that rematch from the amateurs. So if everybody you chasing going to 47, that's a great way to beat Maurice Hooker and then turn around and fight his stable mate in Terence Crawford. So everybody he trying to fight going to 47. So Maurice Hooker said, I'll fight you at 44, 45 before the quarantine. Can't make it. So if everybody you trying to fight go to 47, why not get to jump on other brothers? You can fight Hooker and go into a Crawford fight. You can. Regis Prograis full of shit. Don't nobody want to see him fight no Chris Algieri. Then he was calling out some dude versus Shosha. So sorry I butchered your name. He was calling out some dude from the UK named Lewis Ritson. Don't nobody want to see that. He said Regis waiting for the belts to be come vacant after. Yeah, that's what he got to be waiting on. You still ain't no champ in my eyes, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If he waiting for the belts to be vacant, cool. Or you waiting on Mikey Garcia to come back and he trying to fight Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia at 47. I read to one of my homeboys sent me, bro. He from that area too. He down there in Houston. He says, man, yo, bro, Regis Prograis need to learn to be about it. Now, this nigga from Houston need to be about it, and he cool. He said, not just talk about it and shut up. Deep inside, he wants to fight Spence and be the one to take his O. He wanted to beat Mikey and take his O. He wants a rematch with Taylor at 40 just because he lost. He don't know what he really want to do. Dudes be indecisive, got so many goals but can't focus and knock one out. And he said he's another dude who just believed in his power maybe a little bit too much and realized he ain't unbeatable or a certified KO artist. I seen it happen to dudes in person. Confidence get destroyed, get hurt, or destroyed. Exactly what somebody else says. Simple and sweet. Simple and sweet. It got to be in the back of his mind that he know he too small for 247 pounds. So it is what it is, man. But he a certified duck. He on the duck list, bro. That was some whole shit. He should be able to beat. I felt that he would have run through Maurice Hooker at 47, 40, 45, 190 pounds. I felt that he would have fucked him up, but just showed you what he bought. He said, oh, he's ducking me or I need more money to move up. Man, fuck up out of here, man. It's a pandemic, and that's not even a fight that a lot of people waiting to see. Some hardcore fans want to see it, but it's another solid fight that's gonna go by. Y'all got some questions? I answer some questions, but I'll go down the rumor mill while we answer the questions. Some of this shit we talked about, some of it we haven't. Let's see what we start off at. But y'all can ask the questions. I'll get to them. I got 10 minutes. So here we have it. I haven't talked about this. Well, I have talked about this. Marquez wants to come back. I heard Juan Marquez is probably going to come back versus Eric Morales in the exhibition. So they probably gonna get that done expeditiously. Chocolito is asking for $1 million to fight Estrada. Zafin, the promoter of Estrada, thinks Chocolito is pricing himself out. I heard Earl and Danny should be announced sometime next month. Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. DAZN August 15th. Loma Tiafimo still happening, as we all know. So that's pretty much it right there. And I'll talk about this other news. I say that for a video tomorrow. He says Lewis Ritson, yeah, that's his ass. I'm with you. Regis fought at 52 in the amateurs. He's scared of welterweight. He did an interview saying he won another belt at 40 again. I ain't mad at him. Regis ain't good as he think he is. Sosa, sorry. Rob Rodriguez, what do you think is a good step up for Virgil Ortiz? Ray Robinson, David Alvarez. It was another guy. I think it was Ray Robinson. I think those are it. I think those are good ones. Did you research about Fury's drug dealer manager? No, I didn't. I forgot, bro. I did. I gotta do that. I got a few things I gotta get done. Burchett versus Shakur Stevenson at 130. That was an earlier question. Though. Keep asking the questions, I'll answer them. I don't know, man. That's a good fight, but Burchett, he be scared of guys that slick. He struggled with a little bit bigger guys. The guy that knocked him out, Hearn beat him at 35, but he knocked, I think, Burchett out at 26. And I think Shakur beat Burchett, but that's a tough fight. That can go either way. But Burchett don't like those slick fighters like Shakur. If Shakur get a couple fights under his belt, then he probably destroy Burchett. Right now, it's probably 50-50 without the experience. But Burchett don't like fighting guys like Shakur Stevenson, those slick guys. Um, uh, do it for Lil Saint. We got a what was that movie called? I forget the name of that movie. That was my shit though. With B2K, makes no sense why Regis called out Bud but won't fight Hooker at 47. Boxers always putting their foot in their mouth. Yup, unsolicited shit talking. I take Hooker and Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, it's a good fight, but I think Hooker want to get in the win column, but I think Ortiz is a little bit below him. That might be a cash out fight in this last fight with a Matchroom. He got a couple of promoters. Earl beats Danny. Depends, bro. I can't call that fight, bro. I'm putting money on Danny just because of the situation, but Earl Spence seemed to be coming down in weight, but then again, he ain't sparred. He got another. He said he got a third. He got to get a third post in his mouth. I don't even see that fight happening this year. I think that fight gonna get pushed back due to injury. So, I don't even know where he going. I know people say you don't forget how to fight, but it's a long layoff. It's gonna be over a year since he fought. Danny fought this year. Danny probably be the biggest puncher that he faced. So we'll see if he able to keep Danny at the end of his punches, it'd be an easy fight. In his win there, he'd be able to sustain it. If he get caught up in a slugfest and Danny able to close the gap and they able to slug it out in a slugfest, I'm gonna take Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia is always in position to punch. He a great counter puncher. Earl Spence square up a little bit. So if Earl Spence keep him at the end of his shots and he the Spence that he was before then, I wouldn't tell him to take no chances to the body. Maybe a jab and a little right hand or left hand here and there. But I wouldn't take no chances to the body with Danny Garcia. Not till late. I think he just need to keep the jab going. Just stick and move. That's what I tell him. Stick and move. Danny Garcia closed the gap. Hold him. Fuck all that shit you did with Sean Porter. We hold him. We spin out. We stick and move. We just box him like we did Mikey. Him and Mikey got similar dimensions. And they both don't have good big outputs neither. So he stick and move. He should win. And if he healthy. If he get caught up in exchange with Danny Garcia, and Danny Garcia looked to be in good shape too, he can go to sleep. So any word on Gary Russell supposed to fight? Jesse Macadon Dano is just mandatory. So I don't know. Felipe versus the boys, who you got? I ain't seen a lot of Felipe. I was watching him spar Wilder a couple weeks ago. I watched him beat up Eric Molina, but I gotta watch more of him. But I like the boys. Boots versus Josito Lopez. I like it. They wanted to make Josito versus Sean Porter, but Sean Porter turned that down. This before the pandemic came. They said he's looking for an easy fight and wait for Earl Spence rematch, is what I heard. But that's a tough fight. But if Boots putting his foot in his mouth, we talked about that Saturday, saying that he'll beat Earl Spence and Terence Crawford. He got to get past Josito Lopez, but he ain't gonna get none of them fights until he signed with a promoter. So it ain't no point to talk about Boots until he make a decision to sign with a promoter. He gonna be on the outside looking in like a homeless man. Nervades versus Rigondeaux at 22. Nervades, too much. He ain't gonna be at 22 too much longer. No way. He'll be up at 26 pretty soon. If Lomachenko win, he'll be fighting Lomachenko. So I think he too much, man. Nervades is the best fighter, pretty much down there. I think if Nuyuwa move up to 26, 22 and fight him, I probably favor Nervades, but I'm high on both of them, Nuyuwa and Nervades, but Rigondeaux ain't got shit for him at this point in his career. If he can get him at 22, Rigondeaux got a chance. That's a tough fight. I'll probably favor Nervades since he got the youth, but he getting drained too. So I'm more of a Rigondeaux Donaire rematch. I'll go to that if that's in the States. I'm more of a Rigondeaux in a Nuyuwa type of fighter. If those fights here, I'm traveling to see those fights with fans here, man. Earl by decision. Outside looking in like, shout out to Jamil Hughes. Rob Rodriguez saying Nervades is fighting on Saturday night. Yeah, I know. He fighting from the Attack 7 studio. So, yeah. That was supposed to be June 6th before Shakur Stevenson fight. Gary Russell Jr. to fight Michael Rivera. They said he wanted to move up and go to 35. He called out Devin Haney, and somebody didn't answer that door. So I mean, that is what it is. Um, that is what it is, man. But yeah, any more other questions, man? Any other questions? Questions? Make sure y'all thumbs up the video, share the video, please. Sound like P Diddy. Please listen to my remix. You think the boxers should allow champions to become mandatories? And yeah, they should. Lomachenko was a unified champion and fought for a vacant belt versus who was that? He fought. Oh, chicken noodle soup, Luke Campbell. Shout out to Michelle from Monterio, Mexico. Salute. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, they should rank other alphabet champions, but sanctioning belt bodies don't want to promote unifications because they make less money every time a belt is consolidated. Every time a belt is rubbed together by one fighter, they make less money. Steve said, "What you think about Shakur? Oh, good fighter. Just got to prove it. He got to get hit on the chops to see if he could take a punch. I mean, every prospect and young champion got to do that, and we'll see. I think Burchett's probably gonna be the guy to challenge him the most um, down there. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? He got to, sit on his shots a little bit more and get some more power. All that's going to come, but he dangerous. He probably the best young guy smoker right now. He can stick and move. Southpaw, too, dangerous from that aspect. So, we'll see. Him and Devin sparred a lot of rounds. I think other than, what's that dude name? Other than Burchett, I think Colbert might be a problem for him down there. I don't know if they ever come together, but Colbert probably be a problem. That'll be a high chess match. Some people think Shakir way better than Colbert. I think they both pretty good. That's a fight I want to see. He said, "Are they talking about having a fight at the Lion Stadium in Vegas?" Yeah, Fury and Wilder. 3. Charlo Rosario. I probably favor Charlo, but if Rosario can take that punch, he got the style to apply pressure on Charlo and break him. It's just if Rosario can avoid that big right hand and that short left hook. If he can, he'll beat Charlo. Charlo don't like pressure. If Rosario that showed up versus J Rock still hungry, that's a good fight. Other than Wilder Fury, what's the next fight you can see on pay per view? Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez September. Danny Garcia, Earl Spence in probably November, October, December. Javante Leo Santa Cruz, I heard still on. So those are pay per views you probably gonna see. If Bud, fight Kell Brook next, then you might see that on pay per view. So Lara and Charlo at 54. That'd be a good one. I think Charlo got more tread on the tire. I favor him, but we'll see. You think Ryan should go to Al? I don't know. Yeah, probably so. They pay him. You know what I'm saying? Charlo needs to give Harrison a rematch. It's only right to keep it growing in mouth and break the tie. He won't do it though. He said he ain't giving him no rematch, especially after he cheated with the water bottle. Bud versus Pac-Man, Terence McFarlane. You can go either way. I probably favor Bud. Longer, stronger, spry. Um, Depends on how you fight him. If he try to bang out with him, it's gonna be probably harder. But if he stick and move and box and utilize the ring like Shane Mosley, Floyd did, and like Marquez did, he'll beat him. There's multiple ways to beat Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And then people got mad, so Pacquiao ain't got no head move. Pacquiao, he do a lot of feinting, but Pacquiao, he move his feet. He move his feet more in his head. Pacquiao not no slick fighter, bro. He ain't gonna be in there bobbing and weaving. If he was slick, if he was truly slick like that, man, he wouldn't have got touched by Jeff Warren like that. But people gonna have their opinion on that, man. But I appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Don't forget to check out our 2 sponsors today, the Hellblaze at www.hellblaze.com. Use the promo code Goodfellow Unboxing at 18% off the 100% all natural products from soaps, foot soaps, bath bombs, lip balm. They got it. So, ladies looking for a Father's Day present, or you looking for your girl a present, or your daughter's a present, they got you. Website promo code description. You got an old phone laying around, especially iPhones. Hit up Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers on Instagram, all one word. Their website and social media is in the description. You can call them at 936-225-2198. They want to buy your cell phones and iPhones specifically, so check them out. He says, how far in weight do you think the monster can go? Probably 26. 30 would be a stretch, but I'll probably say 26 might be the furthest he can go. Donaire kind of shows some things, man. Appreciate it, City Calhoun. Salute. Share the video.